What's up, everybody? There's a lot of talk right now. USA Today had an article about the coming Civil War in America, and there's been a lot of people chiming in on whether or not we're going to have a Civil War. I mean, I heard Joe Rogan talking about it on his podcast with somebody, maybe the most recent Ted Nugent podcast. I heard, Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly talking about it on Glenn's program on Friday. I've seen Pastor Joe's videos on it. I see that Patriotnurse 1 has a video on it. The Patriotnurse has a video. Lots of people are talking about this, right? And so, not because I feel like I need to get on the bandwagon, but just because I feel like I need to address the issue from my vantage point. Not that I'm right and they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong, but when you assault a target, if you can get overlapping fields of fire, you ensure success, right? Or you at least have a much better chance of success. So I'm just looking at it from a slightly different vantage point, and that one is pragmatism, practicality. How do you survive a civil war in the United States of America the same way you survive everything else? Number one, don't be in the city. Just don't be in the city. If something breaks out in the city, get out. The same bug out plan you had for Teotihuacan, SHTF, also works for Civil War. Except there's a chance, I would say probably a stronger chance, of localized martial law in a civil war, depending on where you are and what's going on. So don't be in the city. Have a bug out location, a bug out plan, and a bug out bag. Have food put up somewhere, if not in the city, at your bug out location, at your friends' houses, at your family's houses, whatever. Caches en route to your location. Whatever you have to do there, war game the crap out of that situation, right? So, don't be in the city. Have a bug out bag. Have food. Have water. Have water purification, water treatment, water carrying capacity, water filtration, all the water stuff, right? All, shelter, fire, fixed blade knives, all of that stuff. Whatever your EDC, I hate it when people call me when I'm trying to talk to y'all. Whatever your EDC looks like, have that on you. If you have a long gun as part of your loadout for SHTF, probably be a good idea to know how to shoot that sucker. Probably be a good idea to make sure it's zeroed in. It's all the things. It's all the prepper things. Get out of the city, out on a piece of land. Be as self-sufficient as possible. Produce as many of your own inputs as possible. Be as independent from the system as possible, so that disruptions to the system don't affect you as badly. That's really my take on it, because to me, it's just one more scenario for SHTF. It's just one more thing. I do think that there is probably a modicum of conditioning. The poll was something to the effect of how many, what percentage of people polled felt like within the next 4 years that a civil war was possible, I believe was the wording, and it was 33%. And then another 11% felt that it was probable. So about 44% in the next 4 years, possible or probable. Without going down 1,000 different rabbit trails here, I think we're already in a cold civil war right now. And have been for quite some time. It's just a matter of whether or not it goes hot. And if it goes hot in your area of operations, GTFO, man, leave, get out. Do the same things that you would do under any other scenario. How do I know when to leave, T? The same way you know any other time. When your spidey senses start tingling and the hair on the back of your neck stands up and your stomach turns and you get that OS feeling, I'm not supposed to be here, you should probably pack your stuff and leave. And I would much prefer you packed your stuff and left before that. not after that. As I've said 1,000 times before, I'd rather you left early, take a week vacation, and just leave. So, how do you survive a civil war? The same way you survive anything else, man. Be right with the Father, have the proper mindset, the proper skill set, have your heart in the right place, have a community of like-minded people around you that you're comfortable with, they're comfortable with you, you have context, you have history with one another, and you're of one accord. So, if you don't have that, start doing it. And ultimately, I think for me, the ultimate expression of independence is to be, and this is very fitting, seeing as how we're just a couple days away from Independence Day. The ultimate expression of independence is being so independent from the system that you don't even realize a civil war is going on until a couple weeks later somebody tells you. That's what I'm striving for. I planted more food for my food than I did for myself this first go-around in Oklahoma, just to see. The vast majority of that corn I planted is going to end up as chicken food, Lord willing. So, there's my 2 cents on the subject. Civil War in the United States of America, you already got one, it's just not hot yet. What do you do when it gets hot? The same thing you do for any other scenario. It's just not that difficult. I wouldn't buy into all the hype. I would do your best to not buy into all the hype. Stay calm, cool, collected, and have a plan. Work your plan and understand that plan is going to turn to crap on the battlefield of life. So be able to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Roger, Roger. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day.